Your mind has not stopped talking today, not once. Even when you were quiet, it kept going. It replayed moments that already ended, worried about things that haven't happened yet, and quietly judged you for not being calmer, faster, or more in control. It jumped from memory to imagination, from regret to responsibility, from fear to distraction, without asking your permission. And the strange part is, nobody ever told you this wasn't normal. We were taught how to think, how to plan, how to achieve, how to stay busy, but never how to rest mentally. So now, even when your body lies down, your mind keeps standing guard, convinced that silence equals danger. Why the mind never stops. The human brain evolved for survival, not peace. Long before modern life, a silent mind meant vulnerability. Awareness meant survival. Scanning the environment, replaying past mistakes, imagining future threats, this kept humans alive. But the problem is, your brain never updated its software. It still treats unanswered emails like predators, social mistakes like life-threatening exile, and uncertainty like danger. In today's world, stimulation never ends. Screens glow late into the night. Information arrives faster than the mind can process. Expectations pile up. Comparison becomes constant. Your brain doesn't know how to turn off because it believes there is always something else to prepare for. So it talks and talks and talks, not because you are weak, but because your mind thinks it's protecting you. Thoughts pile up like unfinished business. Every worry feels urgent. Every memory feels unresolved. Every possibility feels like a responsibility. The goal is not to shut the mind down. The goal is to gently show it that right now, nothing is chasing you. Way 1. Stop trying to silence thoughts. The first thing most people do when trying to empty their mind is fight it. They sit down, close their eyes, and demand silence. But the mind does not respond to commands, it responds to attention. The moment you tell yourself, stop thinking, you've already lost. You've turned thinking into a problem that needs solving. Every thought you resist becomes louder. Every emotion you suppress tightens its grip. Silence doesn't come from force, it comes from allowance. When you stop trying to silence thoughts and instead observe them, they lose their authority. A thought can only stay loud if you engage with it. Imagine thoughts like clouds moving across the sky. You don't chase clouds, you don't argue with them, you don't try to erase them. You watch them pass. Some are dark, some are light, some linger longer than others, but none stay forever unless you cling to them. The mind empties not when thoughts disappear, but when you stop holding on to them. Way 2. Move the body to free the mind. A restless mind often lives in a frozen body. When the body is still for too long, energy builds with nowhere to go. Thoughts loop because they have no physical outlet. This is why anxiety often feels worse when you sit still. Movement tells the nervous system that it is safe to release tension. Gentle motion, walking, stretching, slow repetitive actions, grounds the mind in the present moment. You don't need intensity. You need rhythm, something steady, something predictable, something that doesn't require thinking. When the body moves, the mind follows. Thoughts lose momentum. Internal noise softens. Many people don't find clarity in meditation. They find it while walking alone, washing dishes, or moving through space without a destination. Stillness begins with movement. Way 3. Empty the mind by emptying the senses. Your mind is constantly reacting. Light, sound, movement, screens, notifications, even silence when filled with expectation becomes noise. The brain was never meant to process this much input without rest. One of the fastest ways to calm the mind is to reduce what it has to respond to. Close your eyes, dim the lights, remove stimulation. No phone, no background noise, no task. At first your thoughts may become louder. This is not failure, it is release. You are finally giving the mind space to unload everything it's been holding. Stay long enough and something shifts. Thoughts slow down, gaps appear between them, not because you forced silence, but because the mind has nothing left to react to. Way 4. Breathe as if nothing is urgent. Breathing is the bridge between the body and the mind. Most people breathe shallowly without realizing it. Short breaths signal danger. The brain responds by staying alert, tense, and restless. Slow breathing sends a different message. It tells the nervous system that it is safe. Long exhales activate the parasympathetic system, the part responsible for rest and recovery. As breathing slows, thoughts lose urgency. Problems feel less immediate. The mind stops racing ahead. You don't need a complicated technique, just patience. Let the inhale be gentle. Let the exhale be slow. Each breath becomes a quiet reminder that nothing needs to be solved right now. Way 5. Write until the mind runs out of words. Some minds are loud because they are unheard. Writing gives thoughts a place to land, not polished writing, not organized thoughts, just raw expression. When you write without stopping, the mind realizes it doesn't need to keep repeating itself. At first, words spill out fast. Worries, frustrations, unfinished thoughts, then the pace slows. Sentences shorten. Eventually, there is nothing left to say. That silence is not forced, it's earned. The mind empties when it feels acknowledged. Way 6. Let go of the need to understand everything. The mind stays busy because it wants certainty, closure, control, but some questions don't have answers yet. Some situations need time, not thinking. When you demand understanding before it's available, the mind keeps circling the same thoughts. Let uncertainty exist. Say quietly, I don't need to solve this today. This single permission releases pressure. The mind rests when it is no longer responsible for fixing the future. Peace comes not from answers, but from trust. Way 7. Practice doing nothing without guilt. Doing nothing feels uncomfortable because we associate worth with activity, but the nervous system needs periods of non-doing to reset. When you allow yourself to sit without distraction, guilt often appears first, then boredom, then restlessness. If you stay, something remarkable happens. The mind stops performing, thoughts settle naturally, silence becomes familiar instead of threatening. This is not laziness, this is repair. Why emptying the mind feels scary? A noisy mind provides identity. Silence removes distraction. In stillness, unresolved emotions surface. This is why many people avoid quiet, not because it's dangerous, but because it's honest. Yet silence does not harm you, it stabilizes you. What happens when the mind finally rests? When the mind rests, clarity returns, emotions soften, creativity reappears, decisions feel lighter, you stop reacting and start responding. Life doesn't slow down, but your relationship with it does. You don't become someone new, you return to yourself. You don't need to defeat your mind, you don't need to escape your thoughts. You need to create conditions where they no longer need to shout. Emptying the mind is not a skill, it's permission. And once you give it, silence finds you naturally. Peace doesn't arrive when thoughts disappear. It arrives when they stop demanding your attention.